Hi and hello, everybody. Welcome to this live stream today. So I'm a bit late because so I had some tech issues. Apologize for that. So hope if you have waited for the live stream, here we are. I want to draw today a cat eye and answer all your questions. You know, we have doors open to Animal Art Club this week, and we welcome new members until Thursday, February 13th, midnight. So if you're interested, then feel free to ask any questions. Before I draw then today, so it is a draw along, you can watch or you can ask all your questions you have. I have a guest today. It is an Animal Art Club member, Deneen, and I will take her here on stage. Hello, nice to see you, Deneen. Hi, thank you so much for your time today. Can you tell us some words about yourself? From where are you?
I am in Virginia in the United States, and I've actually lived all over. My husband's in the military, so we move a lot.
Oh, wow. So you are from the USA. You are a member in Animal Art Club. Since when are you in the club?
So I actually did one of your promo drawings, and I joined in November.
Yes.
But
So
because of the holidays, I didn't get to do a whole lot.
yes. Okay. So some month you are in now, and can you tell me what was your experience with drawing before you joined Animal Art Club? At what stage have you been?
I really didn't dabble a whole lot in drawing, mainly just maybe like outline drawings, but not really detailed. Most of my art was doing outlines and fabric art.
Okay.
So then when I saw your promo and tried, I thought, well, maybe I can. And
Yeah.
so uh, when I did it, I felt like it was very therapeutic and I loved it. So then ended up joining, and since then I have done a few things. Um,
Okay. Tell us what have you done since then, or what could you achieve? What could
well,
you?
I started out doing the beginning lessons, which
Yes.
I thought were great because it just taught me about the shadings and the different ways to use your pencil, which I loved. I thought it was great explanation. And so then I finally moved on and decided to do a full portrait, um,
Oh,
and
great.
was able to achieve that, and it was amazing.
Oh, wonderful. So you went through the beginner course and then you just dived into drawing a full portrait, and yes, amazing. So great. And so what areas or parts in the club do you like best, or what three things are your favorites?
Well, I think the thing that I like is, first of all, that everybody is so nice and very encouraging. Especially with people like me who are beginners. Um, and I think that seeing everybody's different, the way they perceive art, I think there's no wrong or right way to do art. I think art is how you perceive it. And so I think it's wonderful to see everybody's versions.
Yes, so that's so important. Everybody
Yes,
creates their unique artwork, and there is no right and wrong. That's so
exactly.
right. Yes, as you said. Even so, you are a beginner, and you feel also you have a good feeling in the community, so to speak. Yeah.
I do. I do. I feel like they're very supportive. I've never seen everybody's just, I think they're wonderful. I've never had a better online, community that No one, even when they tell you something you can improve, it's done in a very nice, wonderful way.
Thank you. I appreciate that because yes, we really focus on a kind and supportive
Yes,
environment so that nobody feels judged or that you feel you are not good enough or so. It should be motivating and so that you really can grow in confidence and just enjoy the drawing process. Yes, that you don't
yes.
have to have fear or something like that to show up or show your results and so on.
And I
Okay.
will say I was a little fearful to start, but I'm so happy I did because it just it's easy. The explanations are wonderful. I feel like it's very easy to understand. I just love it.
That's great. Yes, sometimes it's really a bit scary to start or
Yes.
just also to show what you have done. Maybe you might think there are so many artists in there that are further along on your journey,
Mhm.
but yes, don't stop showing up because it's really helpful to also go into the community. Okay,
Exactly.
great. What else do you find helpful? So you like the community, and what other parts do you
Um, so I just feel like, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I was a little nervous.
find? Yeah.
Um, I just I think, I was very intimidated to start,
Mhm.
with my drawings, and, as I just tried I like how when you do your videos, you can pause them if you're uncertain about something, and you can, redo it and
Yeah.
just make sure that you understand what you're supposed to be doing. And I thought that that was great that you could do that and kind of go at your own pace,
Yes.
too, because that's helpful. And I think it builds your confidence when you can go at your own pace and then you're happy with, the product you came out with.
Yes, totally. Yes. So you can watch the lessons all the time and you really like that you can stop them and rewatch them and go back and forward however you would like. And yes,
Yeah.
and draw at your own pace.
But
Okay, thank
I would also say the thing that I really enjoyed too was, um, and I think it was part of why I didn't go into drawing yet is, the way you explain the coloring and, you know, there's colors that we use that I would have never thought to
you.
use.
Yes.
And so, I'm learning those combinations and, the blending. I love it.
Yes, I really try to explain every step I do and what it colors and for sure and all the things. So, okay, thank you for
Yes.
mentioning that. And yes, I appreciate that. Okay, so is there anything you would like to share, or what would you say to somebody that is thinking about joining the club at the moment?
Well, I would say I would share from my beginning.
Yes.
So I'm gonna show a couple of my beginnings.
Amazing. Yes, I would like to see that.
So when we first started, hopefully I can find it here. I'm sorry. Oh, I got it. So when we first started, we did the first,
Yeah.
pair, and honestly, I thought that I had failed. Let me just say that. I was not real confident.
Yeah.
This was the beginning, the first classes you had given, but then the end one was the eye, and I
The
thought, "Wow, it actually looks real. It looks pretty good. I think I'll keep going."
yeah,
So
great.
then I just started with all the little ones, the feather, and then I got a little braver as I moved on, and I actually did background on the
Great.
flower. Um, and then I decided to do, the pit bull eye.
Yes.
And so at that point, I had to take a break. with the holidays and everything. And then that's how I ended up with my
Oh, the
my cool
reindeer.
animal portrait.
So well done. Yes, that's great. So I love that you have started with the smaller mini lessons and you went through so step by step, and then you jumped over the fence or so and started with the full portrait. So I love that. And it's
Yes,
really
and I
well
thought, why not?
done. Great. Okay, amazing. Thank you for
But
sharing that.
one thing I will say I learned is when I did the reindeer,
Yes.
I the thing that I learned was, that I should have done it on the size that I was supposed to do it. So I don't know if you noticed, but I
Yes.
had to actually add a little bit more on the bottom because this is actually a 9 by 12 piece of paper.
Okay, it's a little bit larger, and so you have added yes.
Yes. So
And then
that
the dimensions are not so matching exactly, but yes, it's great when you do your own and your own parts then and
Yeah,
follow.
well, it's something that I realized that I have to pay attention to because when I went to look about framing it or whatever, they don't have that size.
Yes,
So it would
that's
be custom. So I'm thinking, okay, I should have, narrowed it down to the 8 by 10 or whatever, but I
yes, yes,
didn't. But it's
exactly.
okay.
Yes,
I love my picture.
you did a great job here. You have drawn it beautifully. I love that to see
Thank
your progress, to see your pictures, and so thank you that you have shared them. Okay,
thank
so
you.
thank you. What would you say to somebody that is thinking about joining Animal Art Club today or tomorrow?
Well, I think that you should never like say no. I think you should always try something new. You're never too old to try something new, and you actually might find you like it. And even if you don't think you're great, I think it's very therapeutic, um, just to sit down and have your own time and concentrate on something then that's positive and just very relaxing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So thank you for these final words. Yes, you don't hesitate if you have any fears or if you doubt yourself if you can do that. You will be able to draw. So I really believe that too. So you can just start as a beginner. We have a beginner section and you can walk through step by step and then grow. And it's all an art journey. So it's a learning curve, and every artist is unique and everybody has its own learning pace, and it's just a journey. Yes, and if you're at the beginning of that journey, then don't hesitate to join because you will see what you can achieve. Thank you, Deneen,
I
for
really
sharing that. Thank you so much for coming. I wish you a lot of fun and enjoy your time in Animal Art Club. I appreciate you as a member. Thank you.
thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
I leave
you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Okay, so this was Deneen, one of my Animal Art Club members. We have the doors open until Thursday midnight, so 2 days left. And as I have said also in the email I sent out, I will draw today cat eye, and you can watch and ask me questions or take your pencils and draw along. I see we have live people here on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you have any questions, pop them below in the comments about drawing with pastels, about drawing animals, or about Animal Art Club. Just pop them below in the comments here, and I'm happy to answer. I share my drawing desk and start drawing, and I just put that here downwards. So just a second. Okay. So I will start sketching in the outline, and feel free to pop your questions in, and I'm happy to answer your questions. I will draw here, so a bit of the outline first with a black pastel pencil. You know, I'm working with the Pitt pastel pencils. One of the questions I often get is, what material do I need for animal portraits? So what material do I need when I would like to join Animal Art Club? And one of the pastel pencils you really need, and I highly recommend, are the Pitt pastel pencils from Faber-Castell. They are these Pitt pastel pencils, and they are a bit harder than other pastel brands. And I highly recommend them for drawing fur and drawing animals in general, because yes, they are harder, they have not so a high color abrasion like other soft pastel pencils, and you can draw many details with them. They are really great. Here I, hello Julian, we have here a question. I am heavy-handed. How do I draw without a lot of pigment on paper? That's a good question. So what I always say in the lessons or in my drawing demos, work with a light hand. And I know if you are heavy-handed, then maybe that sounds so easy, but it is not so easy to do. It is really very important that you train that you use very little pressure. I would say to train that, you could, for example, make some exercises about drawing lines. So, for example, that you really press a lot and draw really thick lines, how these lines appear, and then reduce the pressure all the time and try it a bit out. How much pressure do you need to really draw so very, very fine, transparent lines? For example, you could try that out on a piece of paper until they are hardly visible, and try that a bit out. You could also, for example, take a modeling dough and try to draw the lines on that. And then if you hardly see indents, then it's so like you should draw then on your animal portrait. So it's all a thing about practicing and trying to find the right amount out. For example, when I plot in here the black, there I use a bit more pressure, because here the goal is to create a very dark area, and there I really use more pressure and put more pastel pigment on the paper, because here I want to make it really dark and black. And there is also not a lot of layers to draw on top. And when you draw here, for example, the outlines, and you would like to achieve finer, thinner lines, or here finer eyelids, then you have to use little pressure. And what I do there, that you get straighter lines, I move the pencil with little pressure forwards and backwards over the same place. Yes, just try it out, experiment with the right amount of pressure. And it's all about testing, because every artist has a different feeling to pressure too, and a different, some are more heavy-handed, some are too light-handed. It's also not so good when you don't bring in contrast in your portraits, because you are so light-handed. So you really have to figure out for yourself how much amount of pressure you need. So here I add the highlight area a bit, and then I fill in the base layers for the eye with a lighter. I take a mixture. I bring in a little bit yellow for the underpainting in that eye and mix it a bit with blue. So feel free if you are watching, if you have questions, feel free to post your questions in the comments. If you are thinking about joining Animal Art Club, the doors are open for 2 more days. They will close then and open again, I think, in autumn. We only open 2 to 3 times a year. And one question I have here is, so what's the price? The price is US dollar 45 for the monthly subscription and 450 for the yearly subscription. And I often hear or I see a lot of comments, not here today, but they say you get a lot of YouTube videos or Patreon channels for a fraction of that price. And yes, that's true. But what we offer in Animal Art Club, these are not only drawing lessons. You can find also on my YouTube channel free lessons if you would like to just find free draw along lessons. I do them for free, but in Animal Art Club, it is more like a drawing school, a community where you can meet with other like-minded people, where you get support, where we have live drawing sessions every month, new content, new master classes, and you can have critics, reviews. It is just so much more helpful to be in a community with other like-minded people, and it is different than just following a Patreon channel or watching YouTube videos. I know there are different people out there. The one people like that, and the other people are searching for a community that is like family. So I have members in Animal Art Club that are, for example, from Canada. They met in the club and discovered that they live near each other, and then they have now met in person, and they are now connecting and drawing together, and they were so surprised. I am in Austria, in Europe, and they met over my community, our community Animal Art Club, and they figured out that yes, that they live not far away and they could meet in person. And I find that so amazing that people can connect and they can share their stories, and all the people in there feel and think and feel the same and have the same problems like you. Sometimes you feel maybe isolated at home, or your beloved family members don't understand art or are not so creative, and to whom should you then speak, and so on. Many people are retired too in Animal Art Club, and maybe they feel lonely, and in that community they find friends that really have the same wishes, and you can chat with them and connect with them and draw the same subjects with them. Here I blend the base layer now together. So I go over with the paper stamp. So if you are thinking about joining the club, that's not only drawing lesson. It is like my members say, a family. So all are so supportive, and maybe you have had in the past, maybe in school, that you cannot draw, or you heard some voices around you. Maybe it was a teacher, or maybe it was a parent, or maybe you had bad experiences with drawing. Then a community with people in there that maybe have felt the same is really very helpful, where you can connect and also ask all your questions you have, or share your feelings and so on. So the price is maybe You will say it is expensive, but for all the content that is in there and for all the value you get out of the club, it is different than just watching a Patreon channel or a YouTube channel. I just wanted that to mention. And I know not everybody can afford it for sure. It is also not for everybody the right thing. So another question I have here is this question for sure pops up every day. What paper are you drawing on? I am drawing on here in that case a buttercup pastel mat. Normally I don't like the buttercup. It is so a yellow, but for so smaller studies and experimenting a bit with drawing that eye here, I like to experiment a bit with a yellow. I love the pastel mat paper and I highly recommend that paper for your animal portraits. But normally I draw on gray, so the dark, it's called dark gray. It's a middle gray color, and on brown, because they are have the most velveted and smoothest surface. And the yellow is a little bit rougher, but for drawing an eye, it's also nice to work on here. And I must say I don't have a bad experience today, even though it's a little bit rougher. Another paper you can use is Casomite and Velvet. That's a new paper. That's also a good one. Or Pastel Card from Sennelier is also a good paper you can use for your animal portraits with pastels. And another question is, are these soft pastels or oil pastels? I'm working with soft pastel pencils most of the time. And in my drawing lessons, I also work a bit with soft pastel sticks, for example, for blurry backgrounds and for underpaintings from time to time. So here I plot in a bit black, brown near to the black. So bring in a bit brown around the eye. I just have built up a little bit of a base here with some details. And now I also plot in a little bit brown around the eye, so along the lower eyelid to bring in some colors. And I use paper stamps for blending. You need blending tools, so either paper stamps, and then you can also use cotton swabs for blending and so on. And here I make the base layer a bit blurry. Push the pigment into the paper to remove grit. And I have here a bit darker pigment on the paper stamp, but it's from the eye. So I just blend over here and bring that green a little bit into the fur around the eye. And I blend over these layers that the paper color is not shining through. Make a smooth base layer where we then can build up on with more details. For drawing eyes, some tips for drawing eyes are always to really bring in highlights. So highlights are always very important in eyes. For example, go in with a white, add really good contrast so that your darks are very dark, like the black here around in the inner eye corner is really deep dark black. That a pupil here on this cat eye is really deep dark black. That these lines in the eyelids are deep dark black. So add contrast. And what's also helpful is to darken down the edges of your eye a little bit so that you plot in a little bit of brown along the edges, or here above below the eyelid and below the eyelashes section. there is shadow, there is most time a darker part that you also bring in there shadow, and then bringing a good contrast into your portraits. Are there any other questions you would like to have answered? Please pop them in the chat, or better to say in the comments below. Either if you're watching on YouTube or on the Facebook page, write your questions below. I'm happy to answer them. I go here over with a dark green in the shadow part and add here some dark green, or then go in with a green and a blue and add some more details. I build eyes up in layers and also fur up in layers. When you draw animals, realistic animals with pastels, you build up your portrait in many layers. I start there in a mid-tone and go over with more different colors, and so some greens and blues and so on. And finally, then I go over with highlights on top. But I always go in with some darks then again, and go in with some other mid-tone colors and build up that eye in layers and add details, add some little dots or little short strokes and so on. You can also use the pastel pencils with very little pressure and use the pencils for blending some areas together, make that smooth, like you blend with paper stamps. You can also just blend over here with the pastel pencil. And then let's add some more details. I go in a bit also with an orange and add some orange colors. You often see different colors in cat's eyes. So sometimes, as also Deneen said in the interview before, you don't think about using that colors, or you would never have thought how many colors are there in a piece of black fur or in white fur. White fur also is never only white. Yeah, you can find so many different colors, and also in black fur. So are there any questions you would like to know? Do you have any struggles with your drawings? Pop them below in the comments. Okay, I go in again with some more brown little dots and add some more details in the eye. And then also take another dark blue. I sharpen the dark blue. So, and add some more in the highlight section, some more details. I just sharpen the dark blue. So that the highlight is not only a white stain. I add a bit shadow here on the right, and maybe another line here, and here another line. So there are so many different ways how you can use art for yourself. I like it to relaxing, calming down, having me time. How I started out was so that I saw those fascinating portraits online or other artists draw them. For me, they were horses. I'm a horse lover. I always have been a horse person. And then I started drawing horses with graphite, and so started with black and white, and I was really fascinated how artists can draw animals, and I wanted to learn that too. And then I tried different methods out, and I draw them with graphite, and then I discovered the pastel pencils, and I really I've fallen in love with them. They are amazing. You can blend the layers so beautifully together, create soft looks, but also make the portraits, the animals, very vibrant and bring in a lot of contrast. I find this medium really great because you can do so many things. You can make the portraits very soft, but also very impressive. And you can bring in very bold colors or also so very soft and neutral colors. So, the blending works faster than with colored pencils. For example, you don't have to draw so many layers. Of course, you have to build up realistic animals with a lot of layers, but it's also a fast medium. And if you think it's dusty or you have a lot of dust around, but if you're working on the right paper, that's also not the case. The pastel mat from Clairefontaine holds so many layers, and it's really so fun to draw. Of course, if you're allergic to the pastel dust, then maybe wearing a mask or something like that would be better. But normally there is not a lot of dust on the paper. You might think that when you're painting with pastels, but I am more drawing with the pastel pencils in details, not painting large areas with the pastels. It's more like drawing. Yes, and then I started to draw portraits for myself. I have drawn my horse many, many times, and she was my model for, I think, 20 times. And then people started to ask if I can draw their portraits, so friends. Yeah, or I started to draw the dogs of my friends and the horses too, and cats. And they are then so amazed when you give them the portrait, what, you have drawn that, and they will then be really surprised, and you can draw that. And I'm sure you will also feel that joy when you try that out, to draw presents for your friends and families, and that's really so nice. Or do then later commissions for other people, make other people happy, not only yourself with your art, or sell your portraits, earn money with your portraits. So there are so many different ways. Art can be relaxing, calming, soothing, or you can use it as kind of therapy. If you have a bad experience, if you have had a trauma, or maybe you just want to have me time and create something unique with your own hands that you will be proud of, and that you can also show with confidence that you have created that. I think art can do so many positive things. Or you go to fairs and win prizes. How cool is that when you can put your drawings into an exhibition and win prizes with your art? So, and then or just be proud that you get entered in a local fair or so. So many different ways of drawing animals. Here we have again Julien with the cute bunny drawing. I had troubles with clumps of hair between the shading and lightness. Okay, so when you are drawing clumps of hair, they can be sometimes a bit tricky. I could also show you that a little bit here. Let's draw here below a little clump of hair. So when you draw clumps of hairs, it's always good to sketch in the shape first, and then add below shadow, so that you add below the clump a bit shadow, a bit dark, and draw the little clump of hair that you are working on with a mid-tone. I maybe add here so a bit of a lighter flesh color, and color it a little bit orangey or brown then. So I mix in some hair colors that you have a mid-tone, and then I would also always blend over it. And what's important that you also blend the shadow below and around your clump into the surrounded areas, that's not a framing line around. And then you can go into the clump always also from outside a bit into that clump of hair, and from above, where the little clump and curl of hair starts, there it's also always darker. When you there think about that, there are hairs overlapping from above. It starts always darker at the hairline, and then you can go over with lighter colors like a flesh color or an ivory or a lighter orange and so on, and add some lighter colors then on top. And so build up the hairs and let them also always overlap over the edges of your clump. And so draw from starting with a mid-tone and draw from the darks more and more lights over it, and then go over with a light on top. I sharpen that white so that I can make some finer lines. And most times also the front part of such a clump is a bit lighter, that you then press a bit more and add here some lighter hairs on the front area, and you can then color that a little bit orangey and go over with an orange brown or so. The most important thing is so that you also go in a clump of hair with darks then again and add maybe here and there a bit of shadow. The most important thing is that you add crossing lines then finally too that are overlapping, and that the shadow below and around is very dark. Thank you. That is very helpful. You're welcome, and thank you for asking your questions. That makes these live draw alongs much more fun if you're posting questions. So please ask whatever you would like to ask. I then also go here in the eye, so around the eye with some darks. Also go in with some darker details into that fur here around. You have also the possibility to ask any questions in our 2 Q&A calls we have in Animal Art Club. They are live drawing sessions. They are all recorded where you can get a review, or you can ask for color choice for your own portraits too. So, in the community, you can ask also help for your commissions you are drawing, for your own portraits, not only for the results out of the drawing lessons. You also can submit all your own artwork. If you feel stuck on a commission, if you feel stuck on your own portrait that you're drawing for yourself from your own animal, or if you're trying out something new and don't know how to do that texture or how to move forward with that, you always can come to a Q&A call and ask that. So there are so many possibilities. You get out support in the club, and we also do fun quarterly challenges. Is not a competition. This is more for challenging yourself and draw something without a lesson, for example. And then we have a gallery where we collect all the results, like we have drawn a black Labrador, or a brown horse in the summer and in spring. And for Christmas, we did a sweet rabbit, and the members created Christmas cards with it. So this was really fun, and one participant can always win a prize, but this is more a raffle, not the best result will win. I always say every result is really good and well done. It should be more fun and engaging, and so that you enjoy the process and not there is no judgment or so. And people like that we have also monthly members or awards that we give away, and the members are really very helpful in the community and help each other too. So if you're interested, then just click the link in the description. And I also put it in the comments, so feel free to check it out. Feel free to check it out. This is the information page. The doors are open until Thursday midnight, so 2 days left. Yes, and we draw all different kinds of things. There are monthly full portrait lessons, focus lessons like eye, fur, noses, antlers of deer, sheep, wool, and such details. Members can also submit their preferences they would like to practice. And we have monthly background lessons. And what I've started this year are fun and seasonal topics, like now in February, a Valentine's heart, and so on. They are additional to all the animal portraits. They should just be fun. There are mini motivation lessons where we have short 20 to 30 minutes lessons where they can practice to draw something with a quick result. So, for example, the feather that Danine has shown, or some blueberries or something like that, or some eyes, some smaller eyes too, or some just so fun and quick results. They are nice to do to get to know your pencils and to have a quick result. That's sometimes really helpful when you're working on the longer full portrait lessons, that you then have sometimes a quick result to stay motivated and to have something you have achieved in a shorter amount of time. I'm going to add some longer hairs here for the eyebrows. Here some overlapping little eyelashes. I just add now another layer of details of lighter hairs on top here around the eye. Are there any more questions? Pop them in the comments. So also, what is helpful to blend over the fine fur you have drawn from time to time. I also make the parts where the hairs grow out a bit darker, that it does not look like the hairs are so placed wild on the skin. Bringing here a bit shadow in. Also here I blend below the eye a bit around. Make it here above also a bit blurry. Yes. Drawing eyes is really so beautiful and one of the most favorite things. I must say my favorite things in bringing animals to life on paper. You will like drawing eyes too. You know, the eyes are the gates to the soul, and I always start with the eyes in the portraits. I love that to give them a personality, to capture their character in the artwork. And also when you draw your own animals, you would like to bring in their character, their soul into the portraits. And you really can achieve that with pastel pencils. They are such a great medium. And your drawings will be different than a photo, even so. If you would like to create a memorial portrait, for example, that's always amazing when, for example, you create a gift that is a memorial portrait about an animal that has passed away. the people are always so moved to tears and so happy. And that's a beautiful thing, that you really can create something special, something unique. You will bring in your own artistic style into your portraits, and your animal portraits will be something so special and unique, and you can make people so happy with that. Well, how amazing is that, to create a memorial portrait and let the animal live forever on that paper, and on your portrait. I must say, it's always hard to send away a drawing that you have drawn. Even though you are doing commissions, you will fall in love into your drawings or sell your portrait. Maybe you don't want to give it away. So you put so much effort into those drawings and love, but yes, you then, when the owner has received it and they are then so moved to tears and so happy, then it's okay, for sure. It's then so beautiful that you could create that. So, or you just do it for yourself and hang them on the wall. I have so many portraits on my wall in our home here, and it looks beautiful. And when you have then guests, they will ask if you have drawn that, and wow, how amazing is that, and so on. And you will then be so happy when you see what you have created. Okay, so I think this beautiful cat eye here, it is fun to draw, and I could draw forever, more and more details herein, building up more fur around, drawing more and more details in, go over again with some highlights and so on, add more colors. So I think I will stop it for today here for that live drawing session. Thank you for following and watching. And if you have any questions, you can also pop them below the recording afterwards. I'm happy to answer. If you are thinking about joining Animal Art Club, then check out the link I have in the description. The doors are open until Thursday, so 2 days left, and then we close the doors for new members again. Thank you, Julianne, too, for watching and for commenting and asking your questions. I am also live tomorrow. I will do there a video with an insight into Animal Art Club, how the course platform looks like and what we all have to offer, if somebody's interested at, again, same time. And then otherwise, check out the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, if you are following along on Facebook. Also see the stuff on the page. I will also give tips away, weekly art tips here on the page, on the Facebook page, and on YouTube I will also have weekly new videos. So just stay in my circle. I would be happy about that, and get the best out for your own artwork. I am happy to help you. Thank you for following me and watching, and I wish you all the best with your artwork. See you soon. Have a great evening or day wherever you are watching. Thank you. Bye-bye for today. Have a great time and enjoy drawing.